हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम। Hari Om. With the blessings of Bhagwan Sri Hanumanji, we have begun our study of the Upanishads, and the first Upanishad which we will study is Ishavasya Upanishad. Yesterday we saw the about the Vedas and how the Upanishads are part of these Vedas. So there are these four Vedas which are Anadi, Ananta and Apaurushaya, and Vedas reveal the knowledge of Dharma as well as Brahma. Both this cannot be comprehended only with our intellect, because what is Dharma is very subtle. In order to know Dharma, we should know everything. We should know the past, we should know the future, we should know all the beings. We should know about karma, we should know about karma phala, and that a human being cannot know. So only Ishvara knows, who is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman. He knows about Dharma and he knows himself as Brahma. So from that Ishvara alone is manifested this whole world and also the Vedas. And based on the Vedas are the Puranas, the Dharma Granthas, and also the Itihas. So why should we study this Upanishad? See, we are in this world and we experience a lot of sorrow, pain, suffering, fear, along with little pleasures. And we are constantly striving to become free of all our suffering, and we are striving to gain happiness. But we don't know where it is available. We don't know whether it is available or not. So every being, they keep striving to become free of their suffering and to become happy. The Shastras, they tell us that all our suffering, all our sorrows are because of not knowing myself. I who is experiencing this world, I who says that I am afraid, I am having grief, I am born, I will die, that I is really not known. I experience myself in the waking, in the dream, in deep sleep, but exactly what is my nature is not known. And not knowing myself gives rise to a lot of misunderstandings which create different desires in our mind, and one strives to fulfill those desires. And this goes on uh, ever and ever. So in order to become free of all our sufferings, in order to become free of all our sorrows and gain that eternal happiness, the Shastras say you have to recognize yourself, because you are of the nature of eternal happiness and you don't know that. So how can we know ourselves? See, in order to know anything, we require praman. means of knowing. For example, we see the color and we see form, and in order to know this color and form, we use our eyes. So eyes are the praman for gaining knowledge of color and form. Similarly, ears are the praman to gain knowledge of sound. Tongue is the praman to gain knowledge of taste. Nose is the praman to gain knowledge of smell. But in order to gain the knowledge of ourself, what is the praman? When I am awake, I don't know myself. When I am dreaming, I don't know myself. Even when I am asleep, deep sleep, free from my body, my mind, totally alone, but still I don't know myself. So the only praman is I can know myself only if someone who knows himself will tell me. One who has got this knowledge will reveal this knowledge to me. By myself, I cannot know. I can keep looking at this world, I can keep meditating, I can keep doing all sorts of exercise, I will not know. So, who knows about this supreme truth that is Ishvara? Ishvara is Sarvajna Sarvashaktiman, and Ishvara is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha. He always is free and he always knows who he really is. And what Ishvara knows about his own self, the same self, that same self is myself also. I am not different from that Ishvara. So, in order to know myself, I need a guide, I need a guru, and that guru is Ishvara, who has revealed his knowledge through the Vedas. And in the Vedas, we have the Upanishads. So, through the Upanishads, the self knowledge is revealed. Only through the Upanishads we can gain self knowledge, we can recognize who we really are. So, Upanishads are called pramana, means of knowing ourselves as we are. And once we know who I really am, I will become free. That knowing happens at two levels. At the first level, we know ourselves at the level of our buddhi. With the help of our buddhi, we recognize ourselves. It's called intellectual knowledge, bauddhik jnana. We come to know who I really am intellectually. And with lot of contemplation thinking, I get more and more convinced about it. So that is an intellectual knowledge, intellectual conviction. But that alone will not give me freedom. That alone is not enough. I have to thereafter meditate, what is called nididhyasana. And through nididhyasana, I gain direct experience of myself. It's called aparoksha anubhuti. And only when I gain that aparoksha anubhuti, I become free. I gain moksha. So the Upanishads give us that Bauddhic jnana, with the help of the Upanishad, we intellectually appreciate and understand who we really are. And the Upanishads also guide us that how we can pursue this path of nididhyasana and gain that aparoksha anubhuti of our own self. Hence the importance of the Upanishads. Upanishads are like a great wonder, great miracle. As I mentioned yesterday, there are many Upanishads, and in Muktiko Upanishad, 108 Upanishads are mentioned, and out of those 108 Upanishads, the first 10 Upanishads are commented upon by Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji. Therefore, they are very important Upanishads because with the help of the commentary, we can understand what the Upanishads convey. And among those 10 Upanishads, the first Upanishad is this Ishavasya Upanishad. It's a very short and very sweet Upanishad having only 18 mantras. So before we begin the study of this Upanishad, let us try to understand the meaning of the word Upanishad. Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, in his commentary on the Kathopanishad, which is the third Upanishad, Isha Kena Katha. In the commentary of Kathopanishad, Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji in the beginning, he gives the meaning of the term Upanishad, which is very important to understand. So let us briefly study the meaning of the term Upanishad from Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya's commentary on the Kathopanishad. So in this commentary, Bhagwan reveals the meaning. He says, कि सदेहि धातोः विशरण गति अवसादनार्थस्य उपनिपूर्वस्य क्विक् प्रत्यय antasya rupam Upanishad iti. The word Upanishad is made from the root shad. See that Upanishad has got three words attached to it. One is Upa, then Ni, and Shad. So that Shad, the root of this Shad is Sat or Sad. Sad Dhatu. And the meaning of that Sad Dhatu are three. One is Visharana, Gati, and Avasada, it is called. Means, Visharana means it destroys. Gati means it takes us there. Avasadan means it makes it weak. I will explain everything properly, so don't get overwhelmed with a lot of these terms, but it's very interesting. So Upanishad actually means that Brahma Vidya, knowledge. That knowledge which is conveyed in the Upanishads, the text, that knowledge itself is called Upanishad. Why it is called Upanishad? Because that Brahma Vidya, that self-knowledge, has got these three virtues, you can say. What are they? That it destroys, it makes it weak, and it takes us to a particular goal. And how one should approach this? It is conveyed with these two prefixes, upa and ni. Upa means when we approach. When we approach this knowledge, and ni conveys that when we inculcate, when we practice what is conveyed, then this knowledge destroys our ignorance. That knowledge weakens all the bondage, and this knowledge takes us to Brahma. So the knowledge which is revealed in the Upanishads, like Isha, Kena, Katha and all, that knowledge is called Upanishad because it destroys ignorance, it weakens all the bondage, and it takes us towards Brahma. So that is explained by Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji here. So for whom is this knowledge conveyed? Shankaracharya ji writes कि ये मुमुक्षवः दृष्टानुश्रविक विषय वितृष्णा संत उपनिषद शब्दवाच्यां वक्ष्यमाण लक्षणां विद्याम्. This Upanishad is meant for mumukshus. See, the purpose of this Upanishad is to give us moksha. And who will be interested in these Upanishads? Only those who want moksha. Upanishad is not a book of management. Upanishad is not a book for business or some other stuff. Upanishad is not also a book on dharma. Upanishad is meant to give us knowledge of our own self, which will give us moksha. So, who is the adhikari, who is fit to gain this knowledge of the Upanishad? Shankaracharya ji writes, one who has got this intense desire for moksha, mumukshu, and also one who has got intense vairagya, drishta anushravika vishaya vitrishna. See, we, all of us, as I have mentioned, are seeking happiness and freedom from sorrow. All our pursuits, all our goal. You keep hearing people having different goals and different things they keep doing in their life, but it all boils down to only two things. We want to become free of our sorrows. That is the first thing. And we want to gain eternal happiness, everlasting happiness. We want to be always happy and we never want to be unhappy. That is our inborn desire. We are born with these desires. But not knowing where to look, we keep looking for solution in this world. We keep avoiding sorrows, but we keep getting sorrows. And we keep trying to become happy, but still we become unhappy. And we try to become happy by gaining the pleasures of this world. So the Upanishad, the knowledge ultimately will tell us that what we are seeking is not in the world. We are seeking freedom from our sorrow. Nobody in the world will give you freedom from sorrow. They might give you more freedom, more sorrows. We are seeking happiness in the world. Happiness is not in the world. So where is it? It is there in our own self. So in order to gain that knowledge of the self, we have to shift our attention from the pleasures of this world. We have to shift our attention from seeking things in this world. And that is called Vairagya. Vairagya is nothing but shifting our attention from the world to the self. To have the agenda that I want to attain self-knowledge. I don't want anything else. Hmm? So for such people, for such seekers who have this Vairagya and Mumukshutvam mainly, this knowledge is revealed in this Upanishad. But from this term Upanishad, we come to know that Upa means we have to approach this knowledge proactively. Shankaracharya, right? Upasad, Upagamya. One should approach this knowledge. Approach this knowledge means what? We have to gain this knowledge. See, in a secondary sense, the text is also called Upanishad, but it is only in a secondary sense. That knowledge is Upanishad. Just by approaching and collecting lot of books, we will not become free of this samsara. So the knowledge which is conveyed is what is called Upanishad. So we have to approach. Upa means to go near. Go near knowledge means what? What is this knowledge? Knowledge is acquired in our buddhi. We know not in our stomach, not in our kidney, but in our buddhi. All knowledge happens in the buddhi. Buddhi has got this capacity to know. So in order to gain this knowledge, we have to approach this knowledge means have to use our buddhi to understand what is being taught. So that is what is meant by the term upa. Approach means understand. Upagamya, to understand. And the prefix ni conveys nishthataya nishchayena shilayanti, with determination and with dedication. One should practice what is taught. The Upanishad also teaches upasana, which we should practice. And the Upanishad conveys that knowledge which we, when we understand, without doubt. We have to contemplate on it to understand it without any doubt. And once we understand, we should practice nididhyasana with nischay, means with determination, and with nishtha, means dedication. So both this nishtha and nischaya is conveyed by the word ni, hmm, dedication and determination. So when we approach this knowledge, means gain this knowledge and practice what is conveyed, then three things happen. If we practice the upasana which is conveyed in the Upanishad, then it loosens our bondage, the fear, the sorrow, the pain, the suffering which we have, it becomes weak just by upasana. We have not become free, but this becomes weak. Also, through these upasanas, we attain the higher world, which gives us freedom from lot of sufferings. So it makes the bondage and our suffering weak. Hmm? So that is also conveyed by the term Shad Upanishad. Hmm? Then, when we approach this knowledge, means gain this knowledge and practice Niridhyasan, then it destroys our ignorance. Hmm? So, Visharanat, Himsanat, Vinashanat iti Anena Arthayogena Vidya Upanishad iti Uchyate. So, this knowledge is called Upanishad because it destroys our ignorance. Hmm? And when we gain this knowledge, it as though takes us to Brahma, that Gati. Huh? So Purva Ukta Visheshanat Mumukshun Va Param Brahma Gamayati iti. So the Mumukshu who gains this knowledge as though leads the Mumukshu towards Brahma. That's called Gati. See, just as when a person expires, we say, may he gain Sadgati. Sad is Brahma. And Gati means we are praying that may that Jiva move towards Brahma, go towards Brahma. If not immediately, maybe in future, but may that Jiva move closer and closer towards Brahma. But this Upanishad directly takes us to Brahma. It's a direct route, not a hopping flight, a direct flight to Brahma. Brahma गमयितृत्वेन योगात् ब्रह्म विद्या उपनिषत् तथा च वक्ष्यति ब्रह्म प्राप्तो विरजो अभूत विमृत्युः. One who gains this knowledge attains Brahma and becomes free of death, gains immortality. So because of this meaning in this term Upanishad, the Brahma Vidya is called Upanishad. Hmm? So when it conveys approaching and learning, it conveys practicing what is taught with determination and dedication. It conveys that when we practice, it weakens our bondage, it destroys our ignorance, and takes us towards Brahma. All these meanings are conveyed with the term Upanishad. So very beautiful. See, many people use this term Upanishad for the text. So a student is asking Shankaracharya ji this question, कि my teacher, कि ननु च उपनिषद शब्देन अध्येतारो ग्रंथम अपि अभिलपन्ति उपनिषदम अधीमहे अध्यापयाम इति च. कि oh my dear teacher, कि there are people who use this term Upanishad for the text. Huh? We say, I am studying Ishavasya Upanishad. I am teaching Ishavasya Upanishad. So you use that term for the text also. So Shankaracharya says that that is the secondary meaning, because the text also gives that knowledge. So text in a secondary sense is also called Upanishad. But the primary meaning of the term Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, that knowledge itself, which is not a text, which comes in the first stage in the form of thoughts, but in the second stage, it happens with direct experience. So first we gain the intellectual understanding of our own self, that is called Bauddhik Jnanam, and thereafter we gain direct realization of the self, that is called Aparoksha Anubhuti. All this is attained through the Upanishad, which we have to study with the help, with the blessings of our teacher, not by ourselves, but from a teacher, from the Guru. So this is the meaning of the term Upanishad. So not only the Ishavasya Upanishad conveys Brahma Vidya, but all the Upanishads, they convey Brahma Vidya. The knowledge given in all the Upanishads is same, but all this Upanishad convey it in different ways. So some seekers may understand the knowledge given in the Ishavasya Upanishad. Some may understand it very well when he or she studies the Kenopanishad. Some may understand it properly when he or she studies Kathopanishad. But all these Upanishads convey the same knowledge. The Tattva is one, conveyed in different ways to suit the different seekers, their capacity, their ability to comprehend. In fact, for the highest seeker, means for one who has got the best adhikar, only the study of Mandukya Upanishad itself is sufficient. Don't have to study all these Upanishads. Mandukya Upanishad in 12 mantras convey the truth directly. Mandukyam ekam eva alam mumukshunam vimuktaye. As Sri Ramchandraji mentions in Muktika Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad alone is sufficient to give us moksha. But all of us are not at the same level of adhikar. Some of us may have more mumukshutvam, some of us may have less mumukshutvam. All of us may not have the same intensity. We may have other agendas in our life. And by the way, we will study the Upanishad also. So, and also our Vairagya may be of different intensity. Also, the purity of our buddhi might be of different intensity. So, we might not understand it in one go. See, even in schools, in colleges, a lot of students are there, and the same teacher is teaching all of them the same subject, but each one of them understand it differently at different level. Same is true with the Upanishads also. Therefore, so many Upanishads are there, but Shankaracharya ji has commented on the 10 Upanishads, and this 10 Upanishads, if we study, that surely will give us this knowledge, whatever be our capacity. Now, all these Upanishads begin with a Shanti Mantra. Every Upanishad begins with a Shanti Mantra. Depending on the Veda in which the Upanishad is found, there are different Shanti Mantras. So Ishavasya Upanishad is, as I mentioned, is from Shukla Yajurveda. So Shanti Mantra of this Upanishad is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, which we chant regularly. This is a Shanti Mantra from Ishavasya Upanishad, which is from Shukla Yajurveda, and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is also from Shukla Yajurveda. The same Shanti Mantra is there. So let us chant this Shanti Mantra and see the meaning. Okay? So let us chant. We are not concluding the pravachan, but let us chant this Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. This Shanti Mantra is also found in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. While commenting on the Ishavasya Upanishad, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji did not give the meaning of this, did not comment on the meaning of this mantra, but he commented on the meaning of this mantra in his commentary on Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. See, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is very, very large, big, Brihad. See, this book is the original mantra is there, and Bhagwan Shankaracharya's commentary is there. Such a thick book. Compared to this is this Upanishad, this Ishavasya Upanishad, so thin. So in Ishavasya Upanishad commentary, he has not commented on this mantra Purnamada Purnamidam, but he has given this commentary in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So briefly, we will see the meaning of this term. See, this mantra, Purnamada Purnamidam, is very subtle. Therefore, maybe Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji did not give the meaning in this Upanishad while commenting Ishavasya Upanishad. But we will briefly see the meaning before we begin the study of the mantras. So, as it is the practice tradition, before we study the Upanishad, the respective Shanti Mantras are chanted by the student as well as the teacher together. It is a prayer to that Ishvara to give us Shanti. It's a prayer for peace. See, when we say peace, when we gain peace, we gain everything actually. But if we gain some object or some other thing, there is no guarantee that we will gain peace. If we gain peace, proper peace, we will gain sukha also. So in the world also many people, they say, finally understand the importance of Shanti. They say हमारे पास सब कुछ है लेकिन शांति नहीं है. क्या करे स्वामी जी, शांति नहीं है. One may have wealth, position, name, fame, prosperity, pleasures also. But what is required is Shanti. So why this student of Upanishad is praying for Shanti? See, even if we want to gain knowledge, and how that knowledge is gained in 3 steps. After we approach a teacher, to approach a teacher, many steps are required, but once we approach the teacher, 3 steps. First step is to listen. With faith, listen to the teacher. Second step is to contemplate on what you have listened. And third step is to meditate and realize what you have listened and understood. So in order to listen, in order to contemplate, and in order to meditate, nididhyasan, for all this we require Shanti. If that Shanti is not there, we won't listen. See, at present we are in this terrible time where this virus, this pandemic has created so much of havoc in this world. People are suffering at different levels, and there is a lot of restlessness and disturbance in the mind. So we invoke that peace. Even if it comes and we attain it temporarily, during that time we can study the Upanishad. So when you are listening to this pravachan, just keep everything aside from your mind and just focus on listening. Whatever duties and whatever other things, you can do it afterwards, or you can do before the pravachan. But during pravachan, keep your mind away from all other distractions and focus on listening to this So for Shravan, we require peace. For Mananam, we require peace. For Nididhyasan also, we require peace. And the Shastras also say that we get disturbed due to some cause within, in the sense, some cause in our body, our mind, our senses, hmm, maybe some ailment at the level of our body, or something disturbing our mind, some anger, some jealousy, some pride, some desires. So that is called Adhyatmic Ashanti, the disturbance caused by our own equipment, our own upadhis. No doubt we should try to make it calm, peaceful, but we also require support of Bhagwan. So we pray to Bhagwan that please make my body, mind, intellect calm, peaceful, so that I can listen attentively to this pravachan. So it's a prayer. Then we also require peace in order to contemplate and understand what we have heard. See, it is one thing to listen, but to understand, we have to put forth effort from our side. In listening, also we require effort, but the teacher also puts forth effort. But in contemplation, we have to put forth effort from our side. We have to use all our logic, our rational thinking, our experiences, the systematic way of thinking and arriving at that understanding we have to do. So that mananam it is called. For that also I need peace. And for nididhyasan, for meditation, also one requires peace. So we pray to Bhagwan, both the teacher and as well as the student together. They invoke this peace. Ki Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we gain this peace at the Adhyatmic level, means at a peace at the level of our body mind. May we have peace in our surrounding, and may we have peace at the world level, at the cosmic level. But along with this invocation for peace, this mantra also conveys the highest knowledge. Therefore, this mantra is one of the most beautiful mantra which conveys the highest knowledge in this few words. So let us briefly see what does it mean. It says Om, it begins with Om. All mantras, they begin with the mantra Om. Om, we have seen, is also an indicator of that Brahma. And Om is also an auspicious sound. So when we chant Om, it gives auspiciousness. It drives away all the negative forces around, and it invokes the positive forces. Just as when we ring a bell, it drives away all the Rakshasas and invites the Devatas. Agamarthantu Devanam Gamanarthantu Rakshasam Kurve Gantarvantatra Devata Vana Lakshanam. In the same way, when we chant Om, it drives away all the negative forces, the Rakshasas, and invites the Devatas. So this mantra begins with this sound Om. Purnam Adaha. Purnam means complete. This is also another name of Brahma. That Brahma is also indicated as Purna. See, Brahma is our own self, is Purna. Purna means complete. Complete means there are no limitations of any kind. There is no incompleteness. Shankaracharya writes कि पूर्णम न कुतश्चित् व्यावृत्तम व्यापी इति तद. It is not limited in any sense, means all pervading. Purna means that which is all pervading and complete. See, very important to know, understand that Brahma is Purna, complete. Brahma is not Shunya. In Buddhism, they say everything is Shunya only. There is, this world is not there. It's a non-existent. Atma is also non-existent. Ishvara is also non-existent. कुछ नहीं है, शून्य है. And who knows it is shunya? There is no knower of the shunya also. So it is just a theory that everything is shunya, because there is no confirmation. Because if somebody tries to confirm, then he is there. So it is a non-confirmed theory that nothing is there. But Brahma is not Shunya, Brahma is Purna, complete. Complete means all pervading, and everything is there in it. It includes everything. That's called complete. So, Purnam Adaha, that is Purna. That Brahma is Purna. And that means that which is not seen, that which is Paroksha. Adaha iti Paroksha Abhidhayi Sarvanam Tat Param Brahma iti ityarthaha. That which is not seen, that which is not seen directly, which is present but not seen. That is Purna. But what is seen? We see this world. We experience this world. This world is manifest. But what is manifest as this world? That same Purna is manifest as this world. So this world, Idam, is also Purna. Purnam Adaha and Purnam Idam. That is Purna, and this is also Purna. Means that which is unseen, that which is unmanifest, that which is transcendental is Purna. But that which is experienced as this world, That which is experienced as this body, that which is experienced as the seer of this world, that is also essentially Purna only. It's like, suppose we talk about the gold ornaments. The ornaments are nothing but gold. So before, or if you just shift your attention from the ornaments, it is nothing but gold. And when it is presented in the form of ornaments, that is also gold. So that is gold and this is gold. In the same way, that is Brahma, this is Brahma. You think about this, and more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. Till then, you take care. Be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, and we shall meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. जय जय राम बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।